Just one day a year, when the stars align, our lovely statues come to life.
The sidewalks are icy today. You and Cedro are both bundled up in warm clothes, layering on thick jackets and warm scarves. It's the Living Art Festival today, and Cedro is taking you around to see the statues, since you don't remember where the festival is held. All the street signs are covered in a heavy sheet of ice.
It's a shame the weather is so icy today. I hope the statues can still move around. Come on, it's easiest just to show you.
You follow Cedro down the street. As you go, you pass several statues, all kinds of metal people in different poses. You see a metal man reading the newspaper, the whole statue covered in a fine green tarnish. You see a small girl, bright, shiny bronze, blowing away dandelion seeds. Both sides of the street are lined with the statues, but not in orderly lines. One weather-worn statue stands right in the middle of the sidewalk. It has the face of an old man, making an impassioned argument to an invisible audience. As you pass by, you can feel a gentle touch on your shoulder. The old man stares at you, tears streaming down his face. It is the same statue as before. Behind him, you can see the other statues. The bronze girl is now dreamily looking towards the sky, her cheeks filled with dimples rather than air, an empty stem in her hand. The green tarnished man has set his newspaper across his lap and crossed his legs, a genial smile on his face, as though he is enjoying the weather. All of the statues you've seen have changed positions without noise or effort.
During the Living Art Festival, all the statues are ambulatory. They're all real statues, but for one day a year they can move around and change positions like this.
You continue on your way, walking up and down the street, enjoying the ever-changing poses and emotions on the statues.
Hi! Oh, it's so good to see you again.
A woman grabs your hand and shakes it up and down. Her hand is cold to the touch, metallic. It's hard to take her in right away. Her hair is uneven, one side cut short along her chin, while the other side goes down past her waist in a long braid. The roots of her hair are pink, but becomes a bright blue towards the end. Confetti is piled high upon her head, and glitter sparkles underneath her eyes.
What, you don't remember me?
Nope, the head injury, remember?
Oh, right! You wrapped your motorcycle around a tree. A shame you don't remember. At least I remember you. I always remember a fan.
She sets down the skeleton frame of an umbrella and rolls up an orange sleeve that doesn't match her heavily sequined green blouse. There are stars and diamonds painted in metallic gold spotted all over her arm. But most importantly, you see your own signature on her arm over and over again.
I always ask for an autograph from my fans.
She rolls her sleeve back down, and her pink tutu bounces as she twirls, holding the umbrella frame above her like a parasol. You see her shoes are bright red sneakers. Not much traction against the ice available there, but she doesn't seem to care.
Are you joining us for the Living Art Festival, Follow Me?
Cedro offers his arm in a gentlemanly manner.
You bet I am.
She loops her arm into his and twirls the skeleton of the umbrella in her other hand as the three of you continue your walk back down the street.
I know you don't remember, so I'll explain. Follow Me is a statue, just like the others.
Just like the others? Cedro, you wound me.
She lets go of his arm to do a skip and a leap in front of the two of you, and when she turns back around, she gives you a wide smile.
I'm being alive to make an artistic point. Just like you, I want to break some rules.
What?
Here it is for one day a year. How wonderful it is to be alive. Cow, bell, whistle, bang. Isn't the scorching sun so beautiful?
The sun itself is hot, but today it seems to be hidden.
I'd like to live in the ocean. Imagine how nice it would be. Waves rolling over you forever and ever.
The weather is rather cold today. I'm surprised you haven't slipped on the ice with your shoes. Sneakers aren't really usual gear for weather like this.
Paint by numbers never made sense to me. What is counting other than an illusion to oppress the cashiers into their position? We count on and on, but do we ever stop? Do numbers even continue on forever? I think not. Oops! I'm in trouble! So much for having a day alive!
Her face twists in delicious pain as she starts to think toward you. her body twisting unnaturally. Her knees buckle, and her arms are wrenched behind her in an angle that must be uncomfortable. Her laughing continues, even as she doubles over, her neck stretched backwards, even as she hunches further into herself. Her green sequin blouse is now entirely hidden by her tutu, and finally her face becomes more and more rigid, and she finally becomes, once again, just a grotesque, grinning statue.
Let's go look at the art.
What a day to be alive.
Not What She Seems was written by Savannah Hernandez and Natalie Kim and produced by Geometric Mistakes. The narrator is voiced by Natalie Kim. The radio host and little sister is voiced by Savannah Hernandez. Cedro is voiced by Jimmy Good. And Folami is voiced by Christina Lily Sue. If you like what we do, please support us on Patreon.